So we have 15 athletes contesting this sixth and final section of the New Balance Nationals Championship Boys 2 Mile. And wearing hip number 1, it is going to be Luke Nat for Brothers Track Club in Lincroft, New Jersey. Wearing hip number 2 is Andy Condon. He is out of Cross River in New York, the senior. Wearing hip number 3, it is going to be Caleb Tenney of St. Vincent Peloti in Laurel, Maryland. Alex Fisher will wear number 4. We're out of Berlin, Connecticut, the junior. Another junior wearing hip number 5 is going to be William Zealand out of Forest, Virginia. Wearing hip number 6, Cavi Gibson of Cary Track Club in Durham, North Carolina. Zachary Youngblood of Lookout Mountain in Tennessee is going to wear hip number 7. Hip number 8, Sebi Hume of Bethesda, Maryland. He was the state champ in the 1600 and 3200. Jace Burton is going to wear hip number 9 for Star Valley in Afton, Wyoming. Out of Colbert, Washington, this is Cade Brownell wearing hip number 10. Brody Clark, all the way from Milton, Ontario in Canada, is going to wear hip 11. Wearing hip number 12 is Tristan Yoder of Broadway Track Club in Broadway, Virginia. He's headed to Princeton in the fall. Wearing hip 13, Ben Crane, 7th in this race, indoors, from Illinois. Brady Mullen is going to wear hip 14. He's from New Orleans. He is headed to Harvard. And Aiden Monastir of Baton Rouge, Louisiana is going to round out your field in hip 15, second in the Championship 2 Mile at New Balance Nationals indoors, looking to move up to top marks. And final competitor in this race is going to be Tamrat Gavanis of Massachusetts. The senior was third in this race a year ago.
And Kate, who should we keep our eyes on?
Well, this is a stacked field. As I mentioned, several athletes who have already, been in top podium spots either indoors this year or last year in this event. But it's going to be, again, a fantastic competition. That time to beat, once again, from those earlier sections is 9:04.04. Expect each of these runners to get close to, if not well under that, the meet record. As I mentioned earlier, Daniel Simmons out of Utah, that was set last year in 8:38.49. And that record could also be under some heavy contest here in our seeded section of the Championship Boys 2 Mile. So we are away with 16 competitors, and it to the early lead on the outside there is Gavanis, third in this race last year, 8:54.75 to his name. He is starting on the outside alley. And at the cut-in, he gets a little shoulder glance there to the inside. And it is the tall athlete wearing hip number 2 on the inside in the form of Andy Condon of Cross River, New York.
But right as you say that, Kate, is also Ben Crane with hip number 13, who took to the more of the inside railing position. That might be a little bit nerve-wracking.
Well, he's come 7th a couple times at these New Balance Nationals. He was 7th in the Championship 2 Mile indoors in 8:51.32. Also 7th last year in this race in 8:58.17. And Crane looking very comfortable up front. It's going to be not all that fast an opening lap, actually. Right about what we've seen from the others. 69 unofficially for that opening circuit of the track. So Ben Crane, 68.76, leading the tall New Yorker, Condon, the senior. And again, quite pedestrian. This is turning into a true championship-style race, at least early on. No one wanting to really push the pace along. Tucked in there as well is Jace Burton out of Wyoming on the outside. And then to the inside in the purple, Brody Clark. Never count him out. He's having a stellar season in the Ontario and Canadian track circuit. But Gavin is tucked right in on the inside there. That's a good spot to be. You don't want to get boxed, but he's running the shortest distance.
I mean, that's a long way to travel, Kate, all the way from Canada. How long is that flight?
It's not as far as you'd think. You know what? From just outside the Toronto area, you know, it's kind of like being in Buffalo, New York. So I will say it's not all that far. It is, but a big deal for some of these runners to come down and mix it up with these stellar Americans, the very best in the country, and that's what this race is all about. That's what this meet is all about, and getting what is the closest to, I think, international competition that you can get at this high school level. It means everything to these runners.
It absolutely does, because they're going to get it in college anyway, but getting it here, it really just helps them to get the experience.
Exactly, that's what it is, and there you see again, two athletes duking it out up front. That is Burton of Star Valley along with Ben Crane. Jace Burton, the senior, looking pretty relaxed on the outside. We talked about not wanting to get boxed, not wanting to sit too far to the inside rail, but he is running a bit further distance around the outside, keeping himself safe.
And Jace Burton is signed to go to BYU in the fall. I mean, just having these guys already have their name on paper for a lot of these colleges, it gives them just some extra going into these races.
Absolutely. Again, not a lot to lose at this point. This is where you can kind of play. You get to show off all the fitness and the experience you've gained throughout your high school career. Part of that experience is, again, here at New Balance Nationals, and Jace Burton was 4th in the 5,000 meter indoors at New Balance Nationals back in March. He ran 14:25.65 there, so that is a stellar performance. You know, he's got lots of endurance behind him.
Absolutely, and he has experience here. Just last year, he was in the championship 2-mile unseeded. So, I mean, he is used to running here. He's used to the competition, and hopefully now he's used to this very, very fast pace of Section 6 of 6, which is a tougher heat.
It is, certainly. He is continuing to just edge out Ben Crane to his inside. Crane, again, running a really smart race. He can cover moves when he needs to, but he's tucked against the rail. Gavena sits behind him, and then, as we mentioned, Brody Clark sitting there as well. I mentioned he won the 1,500 and 3,000 meter at the OFSA Championships, the high school championships in Ontario, one of the most competitive in the country for high schoolers, and he has a PB of 9:13 from New Balance Nationals indoors, but he's got an 8:14 3,000, and that converts to an 8:52 miles. So you know he's got some strength behind him as well. So we were through that opening 1 mile split in 4:31.9 for Jace Burton. That was a 66-second lap, and now things really starting to break apart up front as Burton decides that he wants to keep clicking down the pace. Just testing the field to see if anyone will go with him, and it is currently Tristan Yoder for the first time. Haven't seen him throughout most of this race, but he has decided to come alive. And Yoder moving himself into the conversation here. He is headed to Princeton in the fall. He set a new 3,200 PR this season of 8:52.28.
And Tristan Yoder is just such a competitor. He won his state championship in the 3,200 and in the 1,600.
So he's got lots of confidence coming into this race as well, and they've got 3 laps to go. This was interesting. We saw Jace Burton, again, just test the field. He threw in a bit of a surge, and he said, who's going to come with me? Well, a few athletes did, and I think he decided, all right, I'm going to step back off the gas a little bit, give it another lap. And I've used the word accordion a lot throughout these 2 miles, but that's exactly what happens in a race like this. Someone goes and makes a move, takes a risk, and then the field matches them. They come back together, it shrinks back up, pulls apart, shrinks back up. And now on the outside there, that is Aiden Monestier out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, in that bright pink. And this has really slowed down Serenity.
And I really hope that Jace Burton isn't regretting his decision from going out to the front. I mean, in order to get a personal best, especially at a meet like this, you need to go out hard. You need to go out tough. You cannot just rely on that last 800 in order to get that drop of time, or huge drop of time at least. So I hope that he's not regretting that decision, but these guys are definitely going with him.
This is a critical part of this race coming up on 2 laps to go. Burton, Yoder, Monestier, those 3 Continuing to lead here, another 70-second lap. So again, things have slowed a little bit. It is the three seniors up front, along with Gavanis, another senior out of Massachusetts. And Aiden Monastir on the outside looks poised to strike there in the pink kit. He's headed to Iowa State in the fall. But, you know, it's been Burton leading most of this race, and he is continuing to look really comfortable doing just that with just over 600 meters to go. A push on the outside now, and that is courtesy of Cavi Gibson of Durham, North Carolina. Now Gibson trying to get himself into the lead as they approach the final straightaway for the penultimate time.
But Aiden Monastir is going to be able to go with him. I mean, he's an 18-time state champion from Louisiana. He runs an 8:46 2-mile. If anybody has the endurance and the confidence, it's him. I mean, you got to have some confidence to come out here in neon pink.
Absolutely, and that is being put on full display here as they hit the bell. 7:55 unofficially, going for it early ahead of that bell. And it is Gavanis who has gone totally to the arms and churning over down the upper turn of this track. This is a all-out sprint, Serenity.
They are absolutely sprinting, and I hope that they're able to hold it. Tamaret Gavanis is going for it.
Gavanis and Monastir, it's going to be a huge battle right to the line here. Tam Gavanis, Aiden Monastir, Monastir with the edge. Gavanis not letting him go. It is the Harvard commit versus the Iowa State commit, and it is the tall man in pink holding on to his advantage. Gavanis working hard to try to get himself back up there, but it is going to be Aiden Monastir who is going to take the top marks in 8:52.32 unofficially. A 56.87 final lap. So he went from being a distance runner to an all-out sprinter over that last 400-plus meters, and he is going to come away with a big win, the first for the Baton Rouge, Louisiana senior here at New Balance Nationals Outdoors. 8:53.71 for Tam Gavanis. Great final kick by him as well. He closed very swiftly, but it is all Aiden Monastir. And there he is with his finished tape.
Man, he's starting to feel it now. Gavanis just decided to kick so early. Like you said, right when they hit that bell. I mean, are you able to hold it? And he was. He was able to hit a whole nother gear. But here's that start. As you can see, Aiden Monastir got out so conservative. He was just chilling from the very beginning. He let the race go ahead of him. Tristan Yoder was ahead of him. Jace Burton was ahead of him, but he started to just inch closer and closer, and right at that bell, he went for it, and so did Gavanis, right on his heel.
I think it was that pressure from Tam Gavanis from behind that really pushed our eventual winner along to that very, very fast finish time. But fantastic show being put on here. The end of day number 2 of New Balance Nationals. Monastir, 8:52.31, Gavanis 8:53.71, and Ben Crane 8:56.42, your top 3 in the seeded section.